Hello friends, Pony Plays Card Games here, and I am back with the last English edition unboxing for the set of Friendship Begins, and this one is going to be Fluttershy. So this is going to be my 6th video for the English deck unboxings. If you are interested in seeing how the other ones went, then definitely check out the videos in my channel. They'll all be in the unboxings playlist. But right now, we're here for this lovely lady. Got a few cute figures of her. There's some wonderful Fluttershy merch, and merch for all of the ponies. But I loved those Funism figures. They were just adorable. So, this is going to be following the same formula as the remainder of the decks that we've seen so far. It has got one complete, ready-to-play out-of-the-box deck for Fluttershy, 3 exclusive Friendship Begins booster packs, which are going to have cards that you can't get in the regular boosters you'll find in a booster display, and 1 deck mat, which is color-coded to match up with Fluttershy, as well as on the back has a full rules of play guide that runs you through the game and how to play it. And there's the front facing, which these mats are big. They're actually really big. You need a decent sized table to fit 2 of these on there to play. And it's got all of the zones and everything marked out on it. There we go. So first up is the Ruby Rare. Just a lovely scene of Fluttershy walking through the woods, butterflies surrounding her, the sun rays sprinkling down almost. They've got like twinkly glitter. See if I can catch that without getting glare like that. It's very beautiful effects that they have for the Ruby Rares in the way that they foil them. And there's the back, which is a close-up of the card art, as well as the foiled name down the bottom. And here we move into the main deck cards, which starts out with 2 copies of the Silver Rare Fluttershy for the deck. So these are your highest rarities in the deck you get for the Silver Rares. You get 2 of each, which a playset in this game is 4. So if you want a playset of the cards in this deck, you're going to need 2 of the deck. But what we have here is a 3/4 Fluttershy who says, on appearance, if there is any angel in your adventure area, you get to draw a card. So as long as you control one of the angel bunnies, you'll get some card draw when you play her. An angel bunny is a 1-cost 1 inspiration character who says that while he's in the adventure area and there is any Fluttershy in your adventure area, he gets +2 inspiration in your turn. So he becomes a 1 cost for 3 inspiration, so long as there's Fluttershy out for him to work with, which is good stats for the cost. Then we have 3 copies of this uncommon Fluttershy. She has 4 cost, 5 inspiration, and an appear ability that says choose 1 character with inspiration 2 or less in your rival's adventure area to retire. Removing your opponent's characters from play like that is very strong. So, a top card. Fluttershy has some just incredibly strong cards for their abilities. There's a vanilla Fluttershy, so no ability, but its stats are good. It's a 3 cost with 5 inspiration. You get 3 of her. And you get 3 copies of Philomena, who's a 4 cost 6 inspiration, and she is one of the pets. Let's see if I can show there. So you can see the keywords. So it's Phoenix, Philomena, and pet. Fluttershy stuff generally buffs pets and helps to support them. So having a good, strong pet is very important. And otherwise, she loves to work with Angel. And this Angel is a 2-cost 3 inspiration with an ability that's active while he is in your adventure area. That's what that black oval with the word adventure in it means. While there is any Fluttershy in your adventure area, this character gets +2 inspiration in the rival's turn. So as long as it's your opponent's turn, he's going to be a 2-cost 5 inspiration if you keep a Fluttershy out. That is really strong because it's defensive. Abilities that happen on the rival's turn are most often better than abilities that happen for us in our turn, just because of how the contact phase works. And speaking of that, this Fluttershy, which you get 4 of in the deck, is one of the best pieces of defensive power in the game right now. She has adventure area. While in the rival's turn, this character gets +2 inspiration. She doesn't have the same thing that means that you have to control anything like this Angel Bunny does. She just gets +2 in the rival's turn, and that makes her incredibly strong because she's then a 3-cost 6 inspiration on your opponent's turn, and that's really when you often want to be big. Then we've got 4 copies of this 1/1 Fluttershy, who has an appear ability. Choose a pet in your adventure area and it gets +2 inspiration until end of turn. A 1-cost character card, which is still filling a lane and getting hits in, is also giving a +2 buff. Her stuff is just phenomenal. Seriously. For what you expect to pay in terms of cost for power and abilities, she has some of the best stuff in the game as of set 1. And here is a vanilla one of her, a 2-cost 4 inspiration Fluttershy. And here we have a 2/4 turtle, which is actually a turtle and not a tortoise-like tank. And 4 copies of a 1-cost 2 inspiration Angel Bunny. And these ones are the common with the star foils. I like how it's still massive pictures boxes. They're really cool. I like that the game devotes so much to the image. And here is the story, which is put right in the middle of the main deck for whatever reason when it comes to packaging, where it's not actually a main deck card. The stories start the game in play. They have a different card back, which actually explains what's happening in the story, which I think is a very sweet touch. So it's not one of the main deck cards. Her story is the Fluttershy story. So where they have to go up the mountain to face off against Razor the Dragon. And it starts off with the ominous black smoke. It's the first stage of the story, and when you're promoted to this stage, you get to draw a card, which is standard for story card stage 1s at the moment. Stage 2, however, which is towards the cliff, says that when you're promoted to this stage, you get to choose a character in your adventure area, and it gets +2 inspiration until end of turn. One thing that is really strong about this is that it just says choose a character. It doesn't specify what character, so she can buff any of her pets, and it makes it very flexible. Then, the stage 3, Over the Gorge, says that when promoted to this stage, you get to choose a pet in your retirement area and add it to your hand. Now, a lot of ponies love to play with their pets. You have Winona with Applejack, or you've got Aloysius and Twilight, Tank and Rainbow Dash, Gummy and Pinky, Opal and Rarity, all of them love their pets. And the pets are worth playing, which means that seeing as that stage 2 can buff any character, and stage 3 just returns a pet from your discard pile to your hand, you could really play this story with anyone. It does not need to be played with Fluttershy, and that flexibility is really, really nice. And then the stage 4, which is Facing the Dragon, lets you win the game, as all stage 4s do. So, a very good story. I'm actually quite a fan of that one as an idea and the flexibility to it. Then we have got the events and the item cards. So, the first event that we'll be looking at is Aid for Moving Frogs Out. It's a 2 cost. It has choose one Fluttershy in your adventure area. It gets +2 inspiration until the end of turn. So she will get a good buff for 2 points. It's what it does. It's on cost. It's a good card. Flower Picking Day. Now this one is nice. It is very handy. We get 3 of it. I don't know how many of it you really need in a deck. Like, you playing 1 or 2 is good. I wouldn't maybe play a full 4 in a deck, but that's just me, because it is a strong card, but it only hits a select few things. So what it does, it's a 1 cost, and it lets you choose a character with inspiration 2 or less in your rival's adventure area to retire. So it's more targeted removal, kind of like the Fluttershy that we saw earlier, that one there, but it only costs 1 to play. So you can clear out a lane very easily, but only if the opponent's character is quite small, which, if they don't have many small characters, you then won't be able to use these, and that's the only reason I don't tend to play as many, but I definitely do use it. It's a good card. Then 3 copies of Healthy Salad. This is a 4 cost event, so a pretty expensive one as events go, but it gives all pets in your adventure area +2 inspiration until end of turn. So if you have 3 pets out, this will buff your entire board for only 4. So cool full field buffing there. And then a 4 of the 3 cost item card, Rabbit Pocket Watch. You can only adorn this to Fluttershy, and the adorned character gets +1 inspiration for each character in your adventure area. So if you have a full field, then she is going to get +3 inspiration. And this applies on your and your opponent's turn. So it's as strong on offense as it is on defense, which just builds to Fluttershy's incredible defensive gameplay that she can do. She is great for that. And then we've got the scene deck that it comes with. So 15 copies of the same scene card, which is Fluttershy's Cottage. Let's see if I can get that in there. I'm casting a bit of a shadow, unfortunately. Here we go. Inspo Boost, your Fluttershy gets +1 inspiration until the end of this contact. So it'll help to buff Fluttershy. But gorgeous, glittery, rainbowy foiling in the monochrome style. And that is the deck. But then we have the boosters to see what juicy additional pulls we can add to her. But regardless, a very good deck out of the box. Maybe the one thing is that she's got a lot of pets, but not many cards that go above 6 inspiration. So she doesn't have very high power cards for the top end of things. But you can always add those that do come in the boosters. So that's good. Our first card for the boosters is Sweetie Belle, a 2 cost 3 inspiration. Then we have a 3/5 Applejack. We've got a 1/1 Pinkie Pie with a cutest smudgy face. She has the ability that while she's in your adventure area, you can tap her, choose one character adorned with an item in your adventure area, and it gets +2 inspiration until the end of the turn. So a very nice buff indeed. Then there's a 1/2 Applejack. That's an uncommon. I actually really love that art and texture they've got going on there. And then the Sweet Apple Acres scene card. Then we have got Rarity, a 1/2 Rarity. We have a 1/2 Rainbow Dash. We've got a Fluttershy. Here we go. We can start buffing the deck up with this. And a nice strong Fluttershy with a very cool ability. She can be tapped while in your adventure area, and choose a pet in your adventure area to give +2 inspiration till end of turn 2. So that is a really nice buff that'll help to push your pets into much higher strength brackets. Cure for Poison Joke. I can't recall if I've actually gotten one of these before or not. It is an item card with a 4 cost. It says when the adorned character retires in contact, choose a character in your adventure area and it gets +3 inspiration until end of turn. That's pretty cool. So it's a buff for if your opponent's starting to knock your characters out, which will make it really difficult for them to knock out early on characters. So you can make a very good defensive setup with that. And then we've got Sugar Cube Corner, a Pinkie Pie inspiring scene. I love the architecture of that building. The biscuit tiling, the cupcake rooms, that is just one of the most fun buildings ever, right? And then the last pack of the deck. We have got a 1/2 Twilight Sparkle, a 1/1 Apple Bloom, which can buff Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo by 1 while she's in play, and a 3/4 Silver Rare Twilight Sparkle with an adventure area ability: tap, draw a card, discard a card. So it'll help you cycle through your deck. And a nice looking rarity here. She has Farewell ability. Choose an event with cost of Force of Harmony 2 or less in your retirement area and add it to your hand. So when she leaves, she'll pick you back up a decent event. And the Golden Oaks Library Scene card. So that is our pulls for the boosters. Some cool silver rares, all very useful within each of their respective decks, and a Fluttershy one to be able to boost the deck with straight away. So I hope you enjoyed that unboxing. Give it a like if you liked it, and stay tuned for more My Little Pony card game related content. Set 2 for the booster packs Discord has been announced for next month, so I don't know how soon I'll get that in the post, but I am so excited for it. And we also have gameplay videos coming now because we are hosting events on the Discord server with everyone playing, and so we get to actually see the decks in action, which has been so much fun. So check any of that out that you like, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.